We have head coach Steve Donahue, Jaden Glover Toscano, and Derek Simpson. Gagan had 23 points and won 8 of 11 shooting in the game, but the Hawks closed on an 8-0 run in order to win. We'll get comments from Coast and then questions from the student athletes first, please.
Yeah, I think in general we've shown that we can defend with most teams in this league at a high level, and that gives you a chance every night. And then I think these guys have figured out a way down the stretch of these games what needs to be done, and have really done a great job finishing games over these last 3 for sure.
Questions for the student athletes, please.
Jane, can you talk about how much meaning it had for you to come down in that last 30 seconds to have the key offensive and key defensive play?
I mean, I was really just trying to win. I was hungry. The whole team was hungry, so I just really wanted to win.
Jay, Mole's going for you in the second half. It seemed like you had something going, and St. Bonaventure just had no answer for it.
I mean, I just took the shots that I felt were good. My teammates kept getting me the ball, and I just kept executing.
For both Jane and Darren, what have you guys noticed that's been different over this 3-game winning streak?
I would say practice. Like I said 3 games ago, like we had a meeting, and from there we set even more standards than what we had before, and those standards just got higher and higher. Because obviously when you go on until first start, you just kind of get hungrier, and just being able to keep that hungry mentality in practice, in the film room, and the training room, and the lift room, like it's just different. It's been a different vibe these past 3 games, and then out practice and stuff like that. We just tell the coaches, keep. I don't care if we win it, just keep doing the same thing we was doing before. Keep yelling at us, no matter if we're doing good or not. Keep saying positive, stuff like that.
With that being said, Dar, can you talk about now what this 3-game win streak means for the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think we needed it a lot, but we also needed it deep down in our soul, our hearts, and everything. And a lot of us just dug deep, looked at ourselves in the mirror. And when we looked at ourselves in the mirror, we saw something that we didn't like. So we were able to look at each other and just figure it out. That's all it came to.
James, how have you grown in this offense? I remember a few games ago, I don't remember what game, but you said, like, hey, I got to kind of accept the coaching. I'm paraphrasing your words, but something along those lines. But it seems like you're seemingly more comfortable right now in the offense, and the whole team seems more comfortable. What could you say about that?
I mean, pretty much what I said last time was just buy-in. Really just like focus on the plays, execute the plays as best I can. Coaches giving me opportunity to get those shots, and my point guard here and my other point guard, Kafik, is giving me opportunity to get the shots off.
Derek, you can kind of touch on that meeting that you guys had. If there's anything you can share, what have you done since that meeting that's allowed you to win 3 in a row?
What have we done since then? There was one thing that we emphasized on, and we got our feelings out. We were able to tell each other how honest we were, how we felt. And the one thing that I can say from what I said, is I told the coaches, whatever y'all think we're doing bad, like it is what it is. We need you to keep the gas on us. We don't care if don't blow smoke up our what? Don't do none of that. Don't kiss us. Don't do none of that. Just keep your distance and keep telling us what we're doing good, but then also be really critique us and everything. And they kept that same energy. And I'll tell you one thing, it's been a lot. It's just been vocally, communication wise, it's been very different. I appreciate the coaches for that, because they didn't stop, and they just keep staying on us at all times, even if you're not playing, even if you're a manager. So yeah.
All right, questions for Coach. Steve, talk about the resilience of the team coming out of that last first half. Things were going your way. Second half, that whip. So finally came down to a possession situation. How much resilience did the team have to fall out?
They showed great resilience, and I think Derek touched on how we've been doing that daily with stuff, because I thought 6 weeks ago this group kind of would have hung their heads and we're not going to be able to do it type of attitude. And I don't have to say it now. They know what it's about. I try to talk to them before the game about get rid of your personal expectations for this game, like what you think is going to happen positive to you, and just whatever the situation calls for, figure it out, and let's compete and do that. So tonight it was, got off to a great start, and then we couldn't make a shot, and they made a great run. That was our challenge tonight. How are we going to react? Get it? I think in particular, Derek, with his senior leadership, has been really steady with that, and I think that carries on to the other guys. But it's something, honestly, we worked on for a long time. I kind of saw that in this group, that they allowed negative, honestly, or positive things affect their next possession, and that can't be. You got to move on and play the next one, whether something great happened or something really poor happened.
Coach, is it good to be in these grind out type of games, knowing how the conference is?
If you win them, this league is really good. Like, I'm watching all these games. I mean, they're 0-4 now, and every game, like, they can really score. You saw how good the big kid is, Mitchell in the middle. They have obviously great coaching. Every team is really good. So what I'll say to you is, like, when I'm telling these guys, things could go well for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, but most likely it's going to be the last 8 minutes of the game. How well do we stay and execute on both sides of the ball and compete? I just didn't think we were gritty enough in the first half, even though we were ahead. And I thought we weren't making shots in the second half, but we were grittier. We got loose balls, and we made it really hard for them to score.
And what do you think is the biggest difference from first game in conference play to now?
Touched on that meeting, and obviously this has been a lot of transition with this team, but that was the idea of Chris Flagler, our assistant, said we have the leadership council that I do every couple of weeks, but I hadn't done it since we started playing, and we invited 5 starters and Kafikin, and just like all assistants in my office, just like, what do you think? And be honest. And there was some stuff back at the coaches that we had to take in, and then we shared our thoughts with them. And then, most importantly, they said the right things about their performance. There was a real good accountability for them.
We talk about figuring it out, Steve. How much did Jaden show that, like, in the last 30 seconds or so?
Well, I thought he had a rough start with the game. He had a couple bobble balls, but like, he's our best weapon in terms of getting those kind of shots. He's a shot maker, so I'm learning him too, and I'm going to believe in that he's going to make those plays. So we're going to call his number, and he's done it really good. If you remember the Richmond game, called a number and he gets Justice Algebro for a layup off a pin down, which is a play that probably didn't make 6 weeks ago, but he sees the offense and he understands it better. But he's a talented kid, and more than that, he's just really coachable.
Then he came up with a big defensive play really on the next progression.
That's the best thing about this team. So we have two-way players. For the most part, they're really good defensively. So if you're not scoring, he can compete. The kid Simmons is averaging 21 a game at incredible efficiency numbers. I think we blocked the shot twice, and they really did a great job on him. And Club blocks that one right there.
Steve, what are your thoughts of going to VCU and facing Phil Martelli Jr., obviously an alum of the school, his dad coached here for so many years, maybe a little bit more side stuff on that game. What are your general thoughts about that?
Yeah, I don't really get caught up in that at all. I think that's a media, and there's nothing wrong. I understand it. Fans, like, I watched them play. They're really good. I've known Phil, senior, junior, forever. Good friends, but I'm more focused. I'm always that way. Like, what can we do to beat VCU? And that takes up your whole mind. It just does.
Will, Ryan and Steve, Coach, what do you guys see from Desir in this game? He had a double tonight. He had that big hit, that 3 that cut the lead to 1, and then on the Jaden's 3, he had the big rebound that got that, and then had the outlet pass to him. What you kind of see from him on these games?
You know what I see from Desir? I see Desir being the same guy every day. Like, it's every day. Practice, film, bus, 2 minutes left in the game. He's the same guy. And he cares deeply about winning. It's not about him. And then you look up and, hey, how do you play? He has a double-double. He's just such a great team guy, and someone that you, as a coach, you really appreciate as I said, I love guys who are the same person every day.
Coach, I wanted to ask about Frank Mitchell on St. Bonaventure. He had 20 points in the first half. Second half, he only had 2. What type of adjustments did you and the team make to, kind of prevent him from having a bigger impact in the second half?
It was funny. I thought we did a decent job in the first half. There's a couple bobble balls that he picked up. He got 4, 8 points that way. There's a couple things they do ball screen wise that instead of chasing it and allowing him to have like a little pocket and a runway, we kind of didn't do that. Went under, so it wasn't a simple pass to him every time. I thought Justice made it harder for him to catch. And when he did catch it, you saw we brought guys. But I agree, he's a heck of an offensive player.
Coach, going off of this team meeting here, I know Derek had touched on and said that he wanted honesty from you guys, but what was the message that they wanted from you, and how have you kind of taken that into practice?
What he said in that meeting was, to me, what I wanted to hear. He says, we're on them. Like, there's an expectation here. The standards that weren't being reached for the full 2 hours of practice, for the 40 minutes, for how we did things. And what he reinforced, we hear you, and you got to keep doing it. And we're going to react in a positive manner. Because there's just, the buy-in and all the transition that went here. And now for the last 2 to 3 weeks, I look in their eyes. They're trusting the coaches, and they're believing what we're doing.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.